Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap. This video discusses some rumors that Tom Bergeron may be replacing Chris Harrison as host of the Bachelor franchise. Now, I don't believe this will be the case. I don't believe, after all the trouble that's been gone through, that the Bachelor producers are just going to replace one aging white guy with an older white guy, although I do love Tom Bergeron. Let me tell you something. I love Tom Bergeron. Let's discuss this. Let's discuss the reasons why he was fired from Dancing with the Stars. Spoiler alert, there are none. He was just let go after something like 14 seasons. So let's jump right into it. The article reads, former Dancing with the Stars host Tom Bergeron teases return to hosting, but not on ABC reality competition series. Now listen, I never grew up with a grandfather relationship of sorts. I'm always looking for one. If there's any grandparents out there that want to adopt me, I am taking applications. There's no fee, and I will immediately accept whatever offer you have. Tom Bergeron is the epitome of dad joke, charming. You know, nothing's ever been said bad about the guy. If you have damning news about Tom Bergeron, don't send it here. I want to live with my blinders on and hope and wish that he's as nice of a guy as we all think that he is. He's quick, he's fun, he's charming. Anyway, enough about that. So the article on Deadline says that he's been teasing returning to an ABC competition series. As we know, Chris Harrison has been kind of like put on the back burner. He may return. They may put someone else in. We really don't know. On June 7th, 2021, Katie Thurston's season of The Bachelorette will commence with mentors Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams taking the reins as the co-host. Will they be called co-hosts on the show? I think they're avoiding that terminology. As we know, Chris Harrison, after his interview with Rachel Lindsay, went sideways. Was basically, after several apologies, stepped aside, not down, from his hosting duties. He has since hired power attorney Brian Friedman, not to be confused with his brother Ryan Friedman, who's a beta attorney. But anyway, so we'll see what happens with Chris Harrison. But in the meantime, let's see if there's any truth to these sort of rumors. I would place it at about 3% chance that Tom Bergeron would become the host, although he is very, very qualified. Tom Bergeron, former host of ABC's Dancing with the Stars, DWTS as I call it, is returning to presenting. However, Bergeron is not returning to the U.S. version of the British format, which he left last year, replaced by Tyra Banks. We'll get into Tyra Banks in a second. Bergeron set off social media when he posted a clip of Al Pacino's Michael Corleone from The Godfather Part 3. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in, he teased. However, despite much clamor on Twitter, he later clarified he wasn't returning to DWTS. I am returning to hosting. That's the part I hope doesn't disappoint some of you. But it's not going to be a show I previously hosted. However, it's very reminiscent of a show I previously hosted. Oh, who asked for the Riddler here? I mean, very interesting sort of vagueness. Let's go to his tweet. This is Tom Bergeron. Let's play his tweet. The lovely Tom Bergeron, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello there. Happy Friday. It's me again. I thought I'd let you go into the weekend with some more information, some of which may disappoint some of you. I am returning to hosting. That's the part I hope doesn't disappoint some of you. Anyway, it's not going to be a show that I previously hosted. However, it's very reminiscent of a show I previously hosted. More details later. Have a great weekend.
Lovely, man. Now, Tom Bergeron is the epitome of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's like if you try to soup up the engine in your car to a better model, but then the better model's not funny and doesn't do a good job. Looking at you, Tyra Banks. Now, listen. Tyra Banks is a once-in-a-generation talent. She's a producer. She's a lot of things. She's an entrepreneur by all means, but she's not Tom Bergeron. They're just different people. Tom Bergeron fit perfectly into the Dancing with the Stars cast as a likable host, quick-witted, against the clock, live TV. I mean, in today's world in 2021, everything is so scripted and formulaic. They go live. We do it live. You know what I mean? Live from New York, it's Tom Bergeron. Still trying to audition for any show that'll take me. Some comments. DWTS sucks now that you aren't hosting. Tyra was just not made to host this type of show. There's no funny moments or flow. She talks about herself a lot. Now listen, anecdotally speaking, I only watched the first episode of Tyra Banks hosting, but she tried to make every segment about her. And Tom Bergeron, the art of comedy is giving gifts to other people. It's not always making the humor about you. It's about little gifts. It's about quips. It's about, the butt grabbing that they do. They're kind of just like perfect. Tom Bergeron there are very few couples that do such a good job with co-hosting. We have Tara Lipinski, Johnny Weir, and then we've got, is it Stanley Tucci? Is that his name? I don't know what his name is. And Elizabeth Banks. I probably have that messed up. You'll leave a comment. You'll correct me. You always do. I mean, Hunger Games or the wide world of professional ice skating or dancing with sequins on, there are a few people that can master it, like Tom Bergeron and his contemporary co-host, Erin Andrews. Now, of course, Erin Andrews was also let go along with Tom Bergeron. Erin Andrews and Tom Bergeron did nothing wrong. They were a great pairing. Erin Andrews is a delight. She does live TV. She's the sideline reporter for both college and professional football, and that's not an easy job. You got to go in there while bodies are being thrown around, talk to people. There's balls zipping around. I mean, it feels like a pride parade. Looking at you folks, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of ball. Okay, you got the point. Anyway, Tom Bergeron and Erin Andrews poke fun at Dancing with the Stars producers' reasons for replacing them this season. They were just let go, like I said, for no reason whatsoever, and we'll figure out why. You know what? Let's go to this. Let's go to the Reddit thread. I think it was broken down pretty good when they talked about Tom Bergeron for the next Bachelor host. Like I said, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's the offseason. We're speculating. Leave a comment. Would you stick around if Tom Bergeron is the replacement? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are about that. Doubtful, but I wish Dancing with the Stars did Tom so dirty, so I'm glad to see he's getting another chance to be a host. Someone said what happened. They replaced him with Tyra Banks with no reason and not a lot of notice. Tyra Banks' production company took over the franchise and booted Bergeron. I'm sure it saved them money, but Tyra does not have the wit and humor that Bergeron does. She's awful as a host. I miss Tom. Tasha and I, my fiance, I'll bounce things off of her to be like, am I being like sexist in saying I think Tom Bergeron's better than, you go, am I? And Tasha goes, no. Tyra Banks is horrible. I mean, it's live TV. It's years worth of muscle to learn how to do the teleprompter. And then Tyra's like getting into her pose on live TV. It's like, I don't think anybody's going to defend her. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I mean, Tyra's done plenty of daytime TV and live runway modeling and photo shoots and hosting gigs. But this is like Dancing with the Stars is its own beast. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. Here's an idea, Jeff Probst. He could provide running commentary during the dates. Lauren A. has taken the lead. She's using her scooter to physically shove the other girls off the track. Lauren T. has fallen behind and has no chance of winning the one-on-one. Dig deep. This is what you came here for. A chance to spend time with a man who could be your soulmate. I could see Jeff Probst, doing his thing. There he is. You could tell I've been binging Survivor. I've watched about 14 seasons during the pandemic. I will be recapping Survivor this fall. We will be doing lives from the fire pit. I've got a fire pit. We'll be doing a post-episode recaps and all that jazz. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a good... Someone says, to be honest, and again, I haven't read these yet, so let's hope these are okay. To be honest, if I had to have a white male host, I'd prefer Tom to Chris any day, even before the extra interview. I don't think Tom would necessarily be the right fit for the show, but I wouldn't hate it. Those men or women tell-all episodes will be more fun, though, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, Tom is for sure funnier. Tom's way funnier than Chris Harrison, but of course, Chris Harrison's the face of the show. Chris Harrison is the facelift of the show. I don't think Tom is the right fit for the day-to-day of the show, but men tell all, women tell all after the final rose, I could actually get behind that. This right here, Tom wouldn't be good as a host mentor for during the season, but I think he'd be great to lead the conversations during the recap shows. Personally, I'd prefer it if we ended up keeping former leads as the host. Yeah, I think this is what's going to happen. I think former leads will come in as mentors, but look, there's no reason why Chris Harrison can't come back, assuming, the job's his, and also have a mentor. Chris Harrison's just gotten older. The contestants have gotten younger. Some like weird Matthew McConaughey quote. And I just keep staying the same age. Whatever that quote is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Leave it. I'm messing it up. But Chris Harrison's just getting older, so to have former contestants come on, be a breath of fresh air. It'd be a breath of fresh air to have like Abigail come on, or some, a fan favorite to come on and talk to the contestants and work through things. Meanwhile, Chris can still do the formal duties. Maybe Chris hands Tayshia the rose, and then Tayshia hands the rose to, it's a game of telephone. Telephones are things we used to plug into the wall, and remember having a landline telephone and you had like that 20-foot long cord and you just wrap yourself around the dinner table talking to somebody? Oh, those were the days, talking to people, right? Anyway, so clearly people were upset that Tom had left. The executive producers claimed that the longtime ABC reality program, this is Dancing with the Stars, needed to evolve after 15 years on the air. Bergeron, 65, had assumed the role of host during the show's first season in 2005 and was joined by Andrews, 42, 9 years later. Now, of course, we had Brooke Burke and I'm sure other co-hosts at the time, but Erin Andrews really stuck. I mean, she's a true professional at what she does. The network announced that Tyra Banks would be taking over season 29, which debuted 2 months later. I don't know how the ratings are. I haven't really checked. I'm sure it was... I'm sure the ratings took a dip. I think it's all about evolution. Lynn Ayres said during ABC's Virtue Fall panel on Wednesday. I think changing the host was all about evolution. It was about making the show feel fresh, making it feel new and kind of making it reach out, maybe to a new audience as well as the audience that's been there for years. I think there's a real danger when a show's been on for a long time that the audience almost gets bored of the rhythm. I understand the sentiment, but also... imagine going to your grandma's house. You go once a month for Sunday dinner. She always makes those meatballs you love. You don't want something new. You don't want to show up and then grandma's like, hey, I thought I would try beef stroganoff. And you're like, we don't want beef stroganoff. We want your meatballs. You know what I mean? We come for the meatballs. Tom Bergeron is the meatballs that we come for, okay? That went sideways. Hours later, Bergeron and Andrews reacted to the producer's opinion with a laugh. See, at Aaron Andrews, I told you we shouldn't have sabotaged the spray tanner. The former America's Funniest Home Videos personality tweeted alongside a screenshot of a headline from the press event, ugh, at Tom Bergeron. I'm the one that warned you that the sequins weren't shiny enough. Andrews, who competed on season 10 of Dancing with the Stars before scoring her co-hosting gig, replied, fans and other members of the Dancing with the Stars world were shocked by the network's choice to axe its long-running hosting team. After stepping up to the plate, Banks, 46, told Us Weekly exclusively that it would be a challenge to fill Bergeron and Andrews' shoes in the ballroom. I mean, Tom Bergeron and Aaron, they lead the show. This is one of the top-rated shows in the world. So I'm respecting the stage that they have set and then adding my icing to that. Well, she added more than icing, and I got a cavity. All right, folks? I feel confident about that, but of course it's a challenge, but I don't back away from challenges. The problem with Tyra Banks is she's not funny, and this is coming from someone who analyzes humor. I analyze humor. And again, you could show me like episode 9 and she got funny, but when I watched it, she wasn't aware of her place. She wanted to be bigger than the show, and the show is colossal. Tom Bergeron isn't bigger than the show. He's an added delight. He's your Sunday meatball, okay? Tom Bergeron, your Sunday meatball. Tyra Banks, beef stroganoff, okay? Fine, we like it, but it ain't the meatballs. While ABC raised its viewers' eyebrows with the decision to replace the former co-host, Bergeron and the sideline reporter were equally as taken aback. During a September episode of the Token CEO podcast, Andrews admitted that it was a super big bummer to learn that she'd been let go. They handled this so professionally. No drama whatsoever. No hiring of power attorney Brian Friedman. I didn't have much time to deal with it. I got a phone call. We were on the putting green with my dog and my husband, and I got a call that said, so-and-so from ABC wants to talk to you. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, this is it. I felt sorry for myself, and I kind of was like, this is a terrible time to lose my job because we don't know when live television is coming back. These are hard jobs to get. And I think she means we don't know when live television is coming back because it's 2021. Maybe this was 2020. And there just aren't many shows that have live TV anymore. There's Saturday Night Live. There's the news. And there, the Today Show, whatever. You're either Hoda Kotb, you're, Kate McKinnon, or you're Aaron Andrews. I mean, it is a real tough job to score. So anyway, I think I get my point across when I say Tom Bergeron would make a great fit on The Bachelor. He was wronged for the way that they left. And it's like, by all means, hire Tyra Banks. But the idea this is what I never got. Maybe you guys could let me know the details. The idea that she like bought her way in is what was unsettling to me. Like she had a production company. Somehow they bought the show or the show, whatever. And she kind of backdoor slid in there. Maybe, I don't know. It's like, did they even do a test run with her live reading in front of a teleprompter? I don't know. These jobs aren't easy, folks. Tom Bergeron makes this job look easy. Chris Harrison's job, easy. It's not live. Sure, the women tell all, men tell all, whatever, but that's still shot live and it's edited after for the most part. Tom Bergeron's the real deal. So anyway, he's teasing, and let me know what you guys think, what gig he'll come back to. He was teasing that he would be coming back to a gig that is similar to Dancing with the Stars. What is that? We're not too sure. Masked Singer, I don't know, America's Best Dancer. I don't know what else is out there that's similar to Live, it's Dancing with the Stars. And anyway, it's funny. They're talking about like, we need fresh blood. And then they bring in Tyra Banks. And it's like, we didn't have a problem with Len. He's like 88 years old. We just wheel him in there to make fun of people. Like that Holly Hop looked too bad over there. Whatever. That's not some honey in my tea. He's like the Lindenberry two-step. I don't know. I like the show, but I don't know the terms. Anyway, folks, going off the rails here. I've got to get out of here. I've got a 4 p.m. live stream Pacific Standard Time. Stay for that. New podcast coming out tonight, which will be live on all social media. On all podcast apps, iTunes, Apple, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm going to do an episode on mental health awareness and how to know if you've got any sort of addictions you need to work on and what we can do for self-care. The idea is men especially need to do a better job of destigmatizing the idea that self-care is a bad thing. Too many of us are out there thinking we need to be brave, tough, move forward. It's like, go do some yoga, have a nice cry, and do one of those steam facials. Okay, guys? You know what I mean? Ladies too. But anyway, folks, I'm going to be doing that later. I'll promote it when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Check out the vlog channel and the mailing list. There's a link below. A lot's going on as we prepare for the next season. You're going to want to jump on the mailing list. I'm sharing behind-the-scenes information. It's free. There's a link in the description. Click the mailing link. You type in your name. You hit the different, find which bikes are in the thing. You're, going to get cross-eyed doing it. And then you put your email. It's free. And I'll see you on the other side. New email showing up tomorrow morning in your inbox. Don't be the one who missed out. Bye, guys.